everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Wehry Weekly History and Entertainment News. It's now August, and summer is starting to wind down. It's been a much busier summer than this time last year. But as the Delta variant increases, it's important that we stay vigilant during this time. This week, we are going to be discussing more of the concerts that are being held throughout the county. Many of these concerts are free or relatively inexpensive. Plus, I'll be continuing my discussion on nonprofit organizations and RT's favorite films. First, it's time for this week's trivia question, which will be answered at the end of the history portion of this show. This week's question is, which famous book and film franchise has a connection to Mount Greylock in Adams? Before diving into this week's local entertainment headlines, there is a massive update on COVID rules and regulations. Massachusetts public health officials are now advising vaccinated people who have weakened immune systems, who are at an increased risk of severe COVID-19 because of AIDS or health conditions, or who lives with anyone who is unvaccinated or at an increased risk, to wear a mask or face covering when indoors and not in their own homes. This comes as cases of the Delta variant of COVID-19 are starting to rise in the country, leading to the CDC recommending that all vaccinated people wear masks. Also, if you're a parent or student, this next bit is important. Students have been cleared to return to school full-time, but also must wear masks at all times, including on buses and inside the schools, regardless of vaccination status. It's important that we do this so we can reverse the numbers that the Delta variant has brought. Now, for this week's local entertainment headlines. The concerts at Windsor Lake in North Adams are returning. Each summer, from June until August, these concerts are free and combine great music with the beautiful natural backdrop of Windsor Lake. Concessions are available at the lake, but people are welcome to bring their own food and picnic baskets. In August, the scheduled acts will be J.P. Murphy on August 4th, Champagne Jam on August 11th, and the Common Folk Presents concert on August 25th. As stated before, tickets are free and all concerts start at 8 o'clock p.m. All cancellations will be announced on their Facebook page, shown here, by 3 p.m. the day of. The concerts at Windsor Lake are sponsored by the Greylock Federal Credit Union. The town of Great Barrington will be hosting a series of free concerts at their town hall. These concerts have been going on all summer and are ending this month. All of their August shows will be held on Fridays. Their full August schedule is this. On August 6th, Lee Rogers and Friends will be playing. On August 13th, it will be the Extra Special Teas and Alan Timmons. On August 20th, it will be the BTUs. And on August 27th, it will be the Bobby Sweet Band. Additionally, family musician David Grover will be playing every Saturday behind Town Hall at 10 a.m. Concerts besides David Grover's family shows will be taking place at 8 p.m. All shows will be free. Rain dates will be announced on the Town of Great Barrington's website, townofgb.org, or their Facebook page at facebook.com/townofgreatbarrington. The Town of Great Barrington will be sponsoring all concerts. Speaking of music events going on in Great Barrington, the famed Guthrie Center reopened on July 15th. It had been closed for a full year since the pandemic started. It had a soft reopening over Memorial Day weekend as a test run, and then waited until July for an official reopening out of an abundance of caution. Despite the reopening, capacity for indoor shows has been reduced from 100 people to 80 people. And under new CDC policies, all patrons must wear masks, whether you have been vaccinated or not. A partial list of their upcoming performances include the Guthrie Family on August 7th, Seth Giller on August 20th, Tom Rush and Matt Naoka on September 2nd and 3rd. Additionally, the kids band Terry Alaberry and Friends will be playing 2 free concerts on August 13th and 27th, respectively, at 10 o'clock a.m. This is in collaboration with an exhibition celebrating their 45th anniversary of performing at the Guthrie Center. Photographs of their 45 years will be shown throughout the center. Tickets to all concerts are free. All concerts except the Terry Alaberry show will start at 8 p.m. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. For tickets, call 413-528-1955 or visit GuthrieCenter.org. The Guthrie Center is located at 2 Van Duzenville Road in Great Barrington. All music performances in the summer will provide funding for the Guthrie Center services, which include free community lunches every Wednesday. For each ticket sold, even though they're free, $100 will be donated to the services. The Colonial Theater in Pittsfield will be hosting Tony Award winner Stephanie J. Block. She is the current holder for the Tony Award for Best Actress in a Musical and has been nominated for several other shows. This will be Block's first live performance of any type since March 2020, just before the pandemic hit. Singing songs that reflect this last year of staying in our homes, she'll be discussing her decision to relocate from the East Coast to her home state of California, and will be bringing us to where she feels most at home, on stage. This will certainly be an emotional and heartfelt show. This also marks Block's first performance in Berkshire County. The performance will be taking place on Saturday, August 21st at 8 p.m. There will be contactless ticket scanning for patrons at their point of entry. Patrons who are not vaccinated must wear a mask during the performance. No exceptions, while the vaccinated have an option of mask or no mask, and you might need to show proof of vaccination. However, with the new CDC guidelines, this could all change. Seating is general admission, and you can only purchase tickets online at BerkshireTheaterGroup.org. Tickets are going fast. The Stephanie J. Block concert is sponsored by Lee Perlman and Linda Reifberg. the Massachusetts Cultural Center, and the Schubert Foundation. Pittsfield has always been known as a baseball town, as several players have made it to the major leagues. One even made it to the Hall of Fame. Now they have a new team to add to their legacy. The Pittsfield American 12s won their second Massachusetts Little League title in 4 years. They also won it in 2018. This does not count 2020s because it was canceled, like almost every other local sporting event, due to the pandemic. Currently, they are playing in the Section 4 Northeast Tournament. If they win this, it will qualify them for the New England Regional Finals, which will then put Pittsfield one step closer to playing in the Little League Final, which the city has never played in. They came close in 2018, losing in the finals to Coventry, Rhode Island by 1 run for the New England Regional Championship. Currently, they are off to a good start. They won their first game against the Rutland, Vermont team 8-1 on Wednesday, July 21st. Then they beat Peabody West on July 29th, followed by a July 30th 12-2 win over Needham. National Little League Finals are scheduled to begin in Williamsport, Pennsylvania on August 19th. The main stadium, shown here, is the Howard J. Lamad Stadium. Hopefully, our Pittsfield team will be representing the New England region. Stay tuned to WWHEN for updates, and WWHEN wishes all our young baseball players the best of luck. It's now time for RT's favorite films. This week we'll be discussing one of the films that surprised me when I first watched it, but now has grown near to my heart. The 2018 film, Bumblebee. This is based off of the Transformers toy franchise and takes place in 1987. Robot Bumblebee has been attacked and takes refuge in a small California beach-town junkyard. He has lost his voice and memory. Shortly afterwards, he befriends a teenage girl named Charlie Watson. Soon, they are hunted by both government agents and fellow evil Transformers. Bumblebee's and Charlie's battle relationship then takes forefront. Originally a prequel to the Michael Bay Transformers series, Bumblebee became its own entity once Bay's most recent film, Transformers: The Last Knight, disappointed at the box office. Bumblebee, however, was a huge success, earning over $127 million at the United States box office. Although this is the lowest grossing live-action Transformers film, it is the most critically acclaimed one. It earned higher scores on Rotten Tomatoes than all the other live-action movies put together. A sequel is scheduled for next year and has restarted the Transformers film franchise. So why do I love this movie? Unlike most films under the name of Transformers, Bumblebee has a clear focus on human stories. You can actually relate to these humans more than most entries. Haley Steinfeld is remarkable as Charlie Watson, showing empathy as a girl who recently lost her dad and is extremely lonely. Bumblebee's and Charlie's friendship and how they grow is one of the film's strongest assets. The film also has better pacing of its action sequences. When they come, they're amazing, but the quieter scenes are done well too. The movie doesn't shoehorn a romance story in either. Most action movies, including the Michael Bay Transformers series, seem to just throw romance in for the sake of romance. There's a few teasing moments with Charlie's friend Nemo, but besides that, nothing is forced. Bumblebee was the first live-action Transformers movie that was not directed by Michael Bay, although he remained a producer. Instead, Travis Knight took helm. Having a different director did wonders because Knight has his own way of filming that is different from Bay. It's a great improvement and, hopefully, a sign of things to come from a franchise that many people, myself included, wrote off. It's now time for this week's history portion of WWHEN. We haven't done a history segment in a while, and this week's history segment will also be focusing on somewhere you can visit. Mount Greylock in Adams. It is the highest peak in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts at 3,492 feet. Its spectacular views ensure its popularity, but there is more than that. In fact, there is much more history than meets the eye. Mount Greylock has remained sparsely populated in recorded history. The Mohican tribe hunted the area around Mount Greylock, but there is no evidence that they actually ascended the summit. European colonials performed the first surveys of the land in the mid-18th century. One of the first developers of farmland at Mount Greylock was Jeremiah Wilbur in the early 1800s. Unfortunately, since photography wasn't as established as it is now, no photographs of him are known to exist. Wilbur owned a 1,600-acre farm extended up the slopes of Mount Greylock. He also built the first trail up the mountain, which connected his farmhouse in the valley with the farm's upper slopes. The spectacular view from the summit made the mountain an attractive tourism destination by the early 19th century. Mount Greylock's popularity was helped with the formation of Williams College, and they helped form one of the first hiking clubs in the country. In fact, the annual Mountain Day hiking event was started by Williams College, and it remains a popular event to this day. Birth of the railroad also allowed more people to travel to Mount Greylock. However, problems started by the mid-1800s. Heavy logging of Mount Greylock's slopes and summits led to problems of soil erosion, fires, and landslides. A group of local businessmen then formed the Greylock Park Association, which remains in place today, and shown here is one of their original business cards. In 1898, the state of Massachusetts selected Mount Greylock as its first state reservation. And by the 20th century, Mount Greylock was one of Berkshire County's biggest tourism destinations. Between 1933 and 1936, the Civilian Conservation Corps constructed a number of additional structures on the summit, including the popular Bascom Lodge. Today, it remains one of Berkshire County's most popular places to visit. There is also an update about the future of Mount Greylock, with the Greylock Glen being established. Construction on the building could begin this year, after years of delays, which increased due to the pandemic. The 11,000 square foot center, designed by Maclay Architects of Vermont, will house space for environmental educational programs, a cafe, equipment rentals, and other features. It will sit off Gould Road on the Glen parcel, with its sweeping views up to the state's highest peak and out across the valley. The 1,063-acre tract includes woodlands, open land, ponds, and wetlands. It abuts the 12,500-acre Mount Greylock State Reservation. Waiting for the money to be released took several years, including a long break during the pandemic. 2 months ago, Governor Charlie Baker cleared the release of $6.5 million in bond money to build an outdoor recreation center at the Greylock Glen. That whole amount has been wired to the town, and an invitation for bids is expected to be published by the town in either August or September. Governor Baker celebrated the new funding with a trip to Adams and Berkshire County. This included stops at the Clark Art Institute, the Mount in Lenox, and the town in Lanesboro. Mount Greylock also brings us the answer to this week's trivia question. As a reminder, this week's question was, which famous book and film franchise has a connection to Mount Greylock in Adams? The answer is the Harry Potter franchise. In 2016, author J.K. Rowling wrote on her website that the American version of Hogwarts, the School of Witchcraft and Wizardry in the Harry Potter series, took place at Mount Greylock, and it is called Ilvermorny. It was further emphasized in the film version of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, which was released that same year. Not surprisingly, Mount Greylock got a lot of national attention for this, and the town of Adams quickly embraced their status as the American School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, as shown here at the 2018 Berkshire's Magic Convention. Now for an update on Barrington Stage Company. Ongoing is a production of the world premiere play Sister Sorry. In the early 1990s, a conceptual artist invites the public to confess their crimes anonymously via an answering machine. A wide variety of messages pour in, confessing a range of misdeeds, from running a traffic light to infidelity. One caller captures her attention with a stunning and unbelievable confession, which quickly unravels into a suspenseful and thrilling adventure. Based on a true story, Sister Sorry is inspired by Alec Wilkinson's The Confession, originally published in The New Yorker. Tickets are available at barringtonstageco.org, and they vary depending on seats. Tickets can be purchased at the 34 Union Street location from 9 to 4 p.m. That ends this week's episode of Wehry Weekly History and Entertainment News. If you would like to watch this or any other WWHEN episode again, you can visit PCTV, CTSB TV, and NBCTC's websites shown here. Also, if you would like to see the episodes in HD quality, make sure to check out my YouTube page at RT Wehry. Thank you.